who are you, the Pineal Kingdom?
We are a spiritual organization, a group of people who are seeking to find our own sovereignty within ourselves. We're not here to impose our beliefs or ideologies on anyone. We simply want to live freely. We want to grow food. We want to look after our children. We want to build houses. We want to live as a community and practice our spiritual beliefs without imposing or being imposed by anybody else.
Okay. And are you the community leader?
No, I wouldn't say I'm the leader. We don't have leaders or kings in that way. We promote that everyone is sovereign within themselves. Everyone is a sovereign king or individuals amongst themselves. However, obviously not everyone is confident to appear before cameras and media if we ever need to. So when I speak, I may come across as someone who's speaking for the people, but I'm not. I'm speaking on behalf of. People in this community have their own ideals and their own ideas, and they're free to choose what they want to believe and how they want to live. But of course, because we're a culture and we are creating a new culture, we have, let's call them, not rules, but more, we have a culture. We have certain standards that we live by, certain spiritual beliefs, certain philosophies, for instance, a certain diet that we follow, but we don't dictate to people, what they should and shouldn't do, as long as it's within the culture that we are creating.
But it's that true that in 2022 you demanded from the municipal council that the Portuguese state declare you a sovereign state?
As sovereign individuals, they recognize us as sovereign individuals. So
not sovereign state.
When we say sovereign state, we've got to be very careful how we define certain words. So state is a state of mind, right? So state does not always mean a physical something, a physical jurisdiction.
Yes.
What we are saying is this: we are a sovereign state in that we can look after our own affairs. We can look after our own water, our own energy, our own offspring. We can look after ourselves. We don't need any corporations or any state entities to come in and interfere and tell us how we should live. We are sovereign in that way, and that's what we mean by a sovereign state, right? However, we know, of course, we are living in the nation of Portugal. Of course we are.
The land of Portugal.
The land of Portugal. We are here as an embassy, as a family. This is private land. It's land that is in trust. We are living in trust. That's what sovereignty we are talking about. We're not talking about dividing Portugal and saying that this now is no longer Portugal. We are an embassy in Portugal. This is very clear in all our documents.
Yeah. Okay. We also have the issue of the natural law. Many people doesn't know what that means. You live under the natural law. Can you explain what is that?
Yes. So I think it's obvious that human beings are a product of nature. We are natural, right? We are not made by a company or by artificial technology, as far as I know. Yeah, we are a product of nature. If we're a product of nature, it means we must follow natural law. First of all, natural law above all other laws, number one. And this is what we're doing. Here at Pineal, the number one God is nature, natural law. That is the law that we follow first and foremost.
But it's documented that law?
Absolutely, yes. It is documented it's hidden under various other files and laws, but definitely natural law is recognized as an official law. So we are living under natural law, number one, and below that is constitutional law of the land that we are in. So the constitution comes below natural law. Natural law first, then constitutional law. Everything else is optional.
And contrary to what you are accused, you receive many people here. You are open to society, and there are dozens of videos of you showing on YouTube exactly what to do, so you don't have nothing to hide. There's everything on YouTube, and you accept people here.
Absolutely, yes. We've documented every single part of our journey, including even meetings that we've had with this family. Everything is documented, every single meeting we've had for 3 years. We've got thousands of hours of footage documented about everything that we've been doing here. Most of it is public information on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook. We've hidden absolutely nothing. We're not a closed community. We're very open. In fact, we're very proud of what we're doing. One thing I really want to make clear as well is that we're at the beginning of starting a culture. I don't want people to have the perception that we are perfect and we have everything figured out and this is a perfect utopia. Absolutely not. We are learning. We were making many mistakes and we will continue to make mistakes. This is part of the growth and part of starting something new. But we're not afraid to make mistakes. We're not afraid to learn. And we are always looking to grow and evolve and become better human beings. Most of us came from the city. We came from lifestyles. We were difficult lifestyles, difficult situations, and we're beginning to heal and find ourselves and find our human spirit once again. And this is a difficult task to do, to start from the beginning. There are many cultures who've been established for thousands of years, and they still have problems. Yeah. So can you imagine a culture that's only 3 years old? Yeah. We're never going to be perfect. But we will be perfect one day, or close to perfect as we can. But we're at the beginning, and we have a long, long, long way to go. Yes. Nothing to hide. We invite the world to share our culture, to hear what we've got to say, and to be a part of us in whatever way people choose.
But the press calls you a spiritual cult. Are you a cult?
Yes, but the word cult has been manipulated to mean something negative, right? So the Catholic Church is a cult. Yes. Every religion is a cult. So in that sense, absolutely. We are a spiritual organization. We have a cult. And the word culture, actually the word cult is derived from the word culture. Yes. So in that term, yes, we are a cult.
But you have a god? Are you devoted to a god?
Yes, we are. My belief, and again, I have to make this clear, when I speak about things like this, I'm speaking on my own behalf. Everyone here at Pineal will have their own interpretation of what God means for them. So I don't impose.
Okay. It could be nature, it could be universe, it could be
anything. So for me personally, I have a personal God, and that personal God I'm connected to through nature. And that's how I pray to my God, through nature. That's my God.
Why you say that the countries are corporations?
So for me, it's just a question that I'm asking, right? I can't say factually what is happening, but what I can say is, as a responsible, living man and father and protector and guardian of my family, I was asked to register my children to something called the Republic of Portugal. Registration means giving away rights. It means giving ownership. So to give away ownership to my children, before I give away ownership to my children to something called the Republic of Portugal, it's very important to find out who is the Republic of Portugal. So when I asked questions and I researched, it became very clear to me that the Republic of Portugal is a corporation that is registered in Washington, D.C. This is government public knowledge. This is not a conspiracy theory. Anyone can check this for themselves. Now, I'm asking a question. If I'm wrong, I'm putting this to the state and saying, if I'm wrong, please correct me. Is the Republic of Portugal a registered corporation that is registered in the United States of America in Washington, D.C.? So before I register my children, I need that fact to be verified and checked.
And they didn't know.
I've not had a reply just yet. So I'm only asking a question. I'm not accusing. Yes. I'm not making anything. I'm asking a question. Because when I go to the Security Exchange Commission website and various other websites, it's very clear that the Republic of Portugal has been incorporated as a business registered in Washington, D.C. If I'm wrong, please, lawyers of Portugal,
show the proofs.
Prove me wrong. Correct me. Before I carry on as well, I also want to make it very clear, very, very clear, that I'm not against the nation of Portugal. There's two entities we must look at here. Yes? There's the Republic of Portugal, which is a corporation, which is a business, which is a company that is registered in Washington, D.C. And there is the nation of Portugal, the people of Portugal, that is under the Constitution. The Republic of Portugal, the company, has rules and statutes and acts which are mandatory. They're not obligation. They are mandatory. You can choose to comply with those statutes, acts, and rules. Legal does not always mean correct or right.
Yes, like in the Nazi time.
Like Nazi Germany. However, we are here fully under the constitutional law of the land of Portugal. We respect the law, fully, the Constitution, because the Constitution is by the people, for the people, and we are one of the peoples.
And it's fair. The constitution is fair.
The Constitution of Portugal, I keep saying this, is one of the best constitutions in the world. The people who wrote that constitution were amazing men and women. They stood for the freedoms of people, of living men and women. And we respect this, and we want to honor their memory, we want to honor their efforts. So we're here living lawfully under the Constitution of Portugal and under the laws of the land and nation of Portugal, not the corporation. And if I'm wrong, let me be proved so.
So you don't want to be a sovereign kingdom. You want to be considered sovereign individuals. Is that?
Absolutely. So we are definitely proclaiming ourselves to be sovereign, living men and women of this earth and of this land. And as individual sovereigns, we have come together to create a family, a sovereign family that is living in trust. Yeah? And we are trusting and we're entrusted to look after this land. That's what that means. So this embassy, when we say the kingdom of Pineal, it's an embassy, and we are saying that we are trusting ourselves and each other to look after the trees, the plants, the water, the air of this land on behalf of the peoples of Portugal.
And the constitution legally allows the right of self-determination. So you, as long you don't collide with the main fundamentals and the rules of the law. What explanation you find for this sudden press pursuit on your on the Pineal Kingdom?
Yeah, it's been a somewhat stressful time, but we kind of expected it, because when you are doing anything that is seen to be going against the mainstream or the corporation or certain entities that want total control, you're obviously going to get some sort of resistance. So the media, the way they've attacked us, we have been very graceful. We have been very open. We have invited them into our home. We have answered all their questions. You know, we've had media coming every day, media after media. They've portrayed us in negative ways, and we've remained centered, we've remained calm, and we've remained doing what we've always been doing, being honest and living our lives in our truth.
They accuse the National Convention of Children's Rights is being violated for denying access to health and education on the children here. How do you respond to that, to this accusation?
Well, it's absolutely unjustified. Our children have health, and we are always seeking to give them the best healthcare and best education according to our spiritual beliefs, our resolve, and our own practices and way of life, which again is protected by the Constitution of Portugal and by international law, by the way. Yeah, so this is something that we haven't said, but international law protects our rights to self-determination. So this idea that we're not educating our children is preposterous. We are educating our children. Our children are one of the smartest children you will ever find. And when you meet them, and anyone meets them, they will tell you our children are very intelligent, very, very intelligent. And they're healthy. However, there are certain protocols or certain boundaries that we cannot cross. So for instance, because I'm not registered with the Corporation of Portugal, right, the Republic of Portugal, because we're not registered, there is only so much healthcare we can get from the system, right?
We're limited.
We are limited. So this is not in our, we can't do anything about that, right? So if we do need a hospital or a doctor or a surgeon, we're not against this.
You go there,
We'll go there. The problem is when we get there, we're not recognized as living men, as sovereign living men. We must be registered and incorporated into the company or the corporation of the Republic of Portugal. And until we've done that, until we're in the system and we are enslaved into the system, they will not see us.
They refuse.
They will refuse to see us. Yeah. So this is out of our hands. We can't do anything about that.
But they accuse you to interpret the Portuguese constitution in your own way on this matter of education and health, but not in the legal way, because they say that it's the children have to go to the school, registered school. How you answer that accusation?
Whose children?
Your children.
My children. So someone is telling me, a lawyer is telling me that my children that I created with my own energy, my own willpower, my own DNA, yeah, without any help from any lawyer. These lawyers were not here to help me make these children or bring them into this world. Yes? None of them were there. None of them helped me bring them. So, what right do they have to tell me how I should interpret how I educate them? Whose right is that? Right? Do we not see the craziness of this? It's ridiculous. It's crazy. So again, we are lawful. We are doing everything lawfully. And because it's my energy, my offspring, I am the guardian. It's my responsibility. And I must be responsible with my offspring. And my responsibility is to make sure that I give them the best education, the best healthcare, the best security and safety according to my customs, my culture, my principles, my spiritual beliefs, etc., etc. That is my divine and constitutional right.
They don't seem to have nothing to point you objectively, so they are getting this baby controversy. They accuse you of being denied medical help to your son who died unfortunately in April last year. The crime of omitting the duty of assistance. How do you deny these accusations?
Well, these accusations, we've got to be careful of slander. If people are making accusations with no proof, they better have proof about what they're saying, because this is slander under any tribunal, and slander is a crime. So I'm telling all the lawyers and all the people out there who are making accusations, you better have proof of what you're saying, because we did seek medical help. We did go and see doctors, but we were told we could not be helped because we were not registered with the Republic of Portugal Corporation. We were told we could not be helped because we wouldn't give the vaccination to our son. So we were turned away at the door.
And you also, they also accuse you of desecrating the corpse for not having communicating the baby's death to the authorities, and for not have that death certificate. And the judicial police is investigating this case. How do you respond to this accusation of desecrating a corpse?
Whose authorities?
The Portuguese.
The Portuguese authority, the Republic of Portugal Corporation. So I'm going to say this again. None of these corporations helped me bring my son into this world. None of them. None of them birthed him into this world or created him. That's number one. Number two, he was not property of the state. He was not registered with any company or any state or any organization. He was not registered with anybody but the trust of this family. Right? When he fell ill, we did seek help outside, and we were denied that help because, once again, we were not we were not recognized as living men and women.
Do you think that this controversy around the baby only serves to discredit this peaceful community and try to destroy it?
Absolutely, yes. And I just want to finish on my last point as well and make it very clear that, how we dealt with the illness and passing of my son is completely lawful. And we are ready to face any tribunal in the world. We are ready. We're absolutely ready. We have all the evidence. We have everything that we need to prove that we were lawful, we were diligent, and we were responsible. And again, as a self-determined spiritual community protected by international and constitutional law of this country, we have every right to deal with births and deaths as we see fit. We do not need to ask for permission of how we bring children into this world or how we help people transition when they're in the unfortunate occasion that they pass on.
Oh. So, what is your name?
My name is 𝗥𝗘𝗣𝗢𝗥𝗧𝗔𝗚𝗘.
Kundai, how is to live here? Do you like to live here?
I love it. It's beautiful here. It's beautiful. We have 6 hectares of land. We have swings here. We have a football pitch with a goal. We've got polytunnels, gardens. It's amazing.
And you also learn things. We have education here.
I learned many things here. For example, I've been learning how to grow. For example, I have my own raised bed over by our house where I grow my own vegetables, zucchinis. I have sweet potatoes. I have all sorts of fruits and vegetables that I've been learning how to grow.
And you also learn to read and to make counts.
Yes, I can count. I do loads of maths, my times tables, divisions, plus, minus, and then I've got loads and loads and loads of education here.
And what do you do most like to do here?
I love to make music. We have our own music studio. So over in that direction, we have our music studio, which has electric guitar that was bought for me. We have a bass guitar. We have microphones, speakers, amplifiers. We have all sorts. So it's amazing. I can literally just like jam my way through my day.
So you are very happy here.
I'm very happy here. It's amazing, beautiful.
And do you like science also?
I like to do science, like some chemistries, mixing of the elements. I studied the periodic table. I have this book on that. So I've learned all about the periodic table, the elements, the numbers, hydrogen, helium, all sorts.
And you have a very healthier life here.
Yes, I find it's very healthy. I have a perfect balance. I have fun, but then also sometimes it's learning. So I'm learning how to grow a garden, learning how to build houses. I'm learning all sorts.
Ja, how is to living here? The experience.
It's a journey of getting to know yourself, your deepest self, your true self. It's a journey of shedding everything that doesn't serve you, all of the programs of the corporate systems we've come from, and relearning what it's like to be in nature and to connect with your original self. So yeah, it's amazing.
But people say that you have to pay to come here. What is that true? Is that a lie?
There are people that came here with abundance. I came with something, and I was happy to donate what I could. Some people came here with nothing. In fact, there was a man who rode here from Holland on a bicycle, and he came with not a penny, and he was fed, he was housed. So that's how it is here. There's no minimum, there's no maximum. It's just the biggest value is the people. So whoever wants to come here with an open heart and really wants to contribute to this vision, they come here. But we don't ask for anything. Yes.
And you were a much different person before you came here. How was your life before?
So the last few years before I came, I was really building up to something like this. 2015, I had what people call an awakening or a spiritual rising. And I started to realize that there's something much deeper than all of the stories I'd been told. And then just before I came, I was distributing information and packs of healthy foods to people. And then as the pandemic happened, the calling was put out from a friend to come here. And once I visited, my heart just knew what to do. And I came here, I left everything, and really just started again in some ways, really, again, just finding myself. So it was a journey back to self, really, a journey back to the creator.
É libertador e muito mais calmo, bastante silencioso. É uma aprendizagem de nós próprios e de viver em comunhão com os outros e de lembrar daquilo que vivíamos, como se vivia antigamente. Temos os nossos espaços particulares, mas ao mesmo tempo também partilhamos espaços comuns, atividades comuns, ideias, informação, tanta coisa. Antes era a vida muito mais agitada, olhava muito mais para o relógio, agora raramente olho, nem tenho relógio. A gente regula-se mais, temos os telemóveis, mas regulamos mais pelo sol. E é diferente, é uma maneira mais simples de viver, com mais calma.
Ou seja, vocês não estão aliados à sociedade como apontam lá fora, vocês sabem tudo o que se passa, simplesmente vivem em paz e nesta calmaria, não é?
Sim, exatamente. Como eu te disse, nós também temos tecnologia, nós temos os telemóveis, temos computadores e nós temos uma página social que é o Instagram e temos o nosso website. Contudo, é um meio de utilização para as pessoas saberem o que fazemos lá fora e também para nos poderem apoiar e de se quiserem vir ver como é que nós vivemos. Nós é que escolhemos vir para a natureza para viver de uma maneira muito mais calma, muito mais simples.
A ideia que as pessoas têm lá fora que são uma seita estranha, esquisita. Como é que veem essas ideias que as pessoas têm no exterior sem cá terem vindo?
Uma seita, pois não sei o que é que as pessoas entendem por seita. O que realmente nós estamos aqui a fazer é fazer crescer uma cultura e relembrando os velhos tempos, no sentido em que voltar à natureza, conectar-nos com a natureza, proteger a nossa água, proteger a nossa comida, fazer crescer a nossa comida isto realmente se é uma seita ou uma cultura, pois bem, é uma cultura de proteção da natureza, respeito por onde vivemos, nesta terra linda que nos foi dada por o mais alto divino, proteger os animais e fazer de nós melhores seres humanos, realmente.
And you do a lot of meditation, but I also saw parties on your leisure times. How is a day here in the Pineal Kingdom? How is your day?
Yes, so we try and balance as much spiritual practice with actual reality of grounding of living. So we meditate, we pray, we go on pilgrims, we do many spiritual practices, but we also work on the land. We also clean the land, we grow food, we make clothes, we cook, we look after our offspring. So we always try and balance. And also, we must remember that we are human beings. We must have fun. We're here to live and enjoy life. So we party, we eat very good food, we play good music, we like traveling, we like seeing different places, we go to the beach, we go to festivals. We love to live life and enjoy what this earth has to offer.
Yeah, enjoy the life.
Absolutely.
But the big difference with outside that you spend more time with the nature and less time with technologies. Is that right? And that's what you teach to your children.
Absolutely, yes. So again,
But you have technologies.
absolutely. So we are absolutely not against technology. Technology is fantastic. It's beautiful. It's a gift from the divine. So we embrace technology fully. What we're against is technology taking over the human spirit. Now, these are not my words. These are words that are being spoken by many entities out there with a lot of influence and power over this world who are saying they want technology to take over the human spirit. They want artificial intelligence to be above the human being, to control the human being. And we are saying we do not consent to this. Now, if there are people out there who are happy to follow that, let them do that. We're not here to fight or to resist. Those who want to follow that paradigm are free to do so. But we have to be free to say no if we want to. Yes. Those of us on earth who do not want to be part of this paradigm of the AI and artificial technology taking over our spirit and our consciousness and our way of life, those of us who don't want that to happen, we must have the right to say no. And when that right is taken away, that means we're no longer free. We've become slaves. So we love technology, and we are always looking for great technologies that can to help our lives too. But technologies must work for us. We must not be controlled by technology.
And not prisoners of the...
Exactly that, my brother.
But you are also populating the countryside and giving life to abandoned village here, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. So, it's interesting that the media has portrayed us as invaders or we're doing something very negative. But once again, we're not here to invade anything. We're not here to resist. We're not even protesting. We're not even asking for anything. We are not putting resources on the Portuguese state. We're not asking for money or benefits. None of that. We are simply saying this land out here that has been abandoned, that many young people no longer want to live in, we are actually happy to come here and look after this land. And give life to it. We want to bring children here. We want to grow food. We want to bring life. We want to show the world that this place is beautiful. This country is beautiful. This nation is beautiful. The people in this country are beautiful. That is our mission and our objective. That's all we are doing. And we're being persecuted for doing that.
And you also help the small business around with your neighbors. How is your relation with the neighbors around?
So we are always endeavoring to make connections with as many local businesses and individual people as possible. So of course, many people have said we are contradicting ourselves because we talk about living in nature and disconnecting, but we're using money. So I want to make it very clear that we're not against money. We're not against anything commercial. We're not even against the government, by the way. We're not against law. We are very lawful people. We respect governments. We respect the law. We respect technology. We respect money. What we disrespect is when other corporations, whether government, public, private, or individuals, impose or force their will on people. That is what we do not agree with. So we are happy, absolutely happy to connect and to promote and to help and to cooperate with businesses, individual, private or public, state. We are always looking to build bridges. We're always looking to make connections to build a better world. Always, always, always. And whatever we can do to help local businesses and local people, we're always doing it. We promote local farmers. We buy fruits and vegetables from small businesses. We want the small businesses to thrive. There are big corporate businesses that are trying to destroy the smaller businesses. And people are not seeing what is happening here. This is the takeover of the small person, the people on the ground, the farmers. So we're here to support, the people on the ground, the nation. And but we're not here to fight the corporations either. We're not fighting.
And how did you experience the pandemic around here? Without television, there must be no pandemic here, I suppose. You didn't get vaccinated, you didn't wear masks or take tests. There was no pandemic here with no television?
Absolutely no pandemic where we were living. We don't know what the pandemic is. We only hear it through stories and we saw it through social media. But we were living our lives like normal, every day.
Without fear?
Zero fear. There is no fear where we live. On this land, in this region, in this family, we never ever once felt any fear. Even with everything that is happening now with the media, we're not in fear because we're living our truth. And when you live in your truth with purpose, you know you're divinely protected by higher forces, by my own God, by our collective God. So we never ever live in fear, ever, ever.